What's up, everybody? How you doing? This is Donnie, STX Archery and Outdoors here in Edna, coming to you with another little product review video. This week, we're going to highlight something that is very popular amongst bow hunters, and that's obviously sights. So the different types and all that, but specifically, we're going to talk about the Spot Hogg Boonie. And back in the day, we would all, back when your grandpa shot a bow and your dad taught you how to bow hunt, we would all stick with the typical 3, 4, 5, sometimes even 7 pin horizontal bow sight. And now we are moving into a much more sophisticated era of bow hunting where everybody's kind of moving to a single, double, even a triple stack movable sight. And so one of the most popular ones on the market, one of the best ones on the market, is the Spot Hogg Boonie. And so today I just want to show you what we have in store. We'll always have it, and what it is. So the Spot Hogg Boonie looks like this. All right, guys, so Spot Hogg Boonie, one of the most popular and robust, tough bow sights on the market. Made by probably definitely one of the top names in sights is going to be Spot Hogg. So what we have here, this is the dovetail version of the Boonie. It can come in a pick mount version and a hard mount version. So this right here is your dovetail version of the Boonie. So what I mean by this is this part here is your dovetail, and this is what's going to mount onto your bow and allow that sight to slide in and out on a dovetail rail, right? If you decide that you want to go to a pick mount version, an adapter is available to swap out and move to a pick mount version. And what that looks like would be right here on this bow. Okay, that is a pick mount Spot Hogg Boonie. So moving on to the sight here. We have some significant upgrades from what it was from the Fast Eddie XL, or the Fast Eddie in general, the pick mount as well. So we have some upgrades here. So number one being that Spot Hogg listened to everybody and have added a first axis adjustment, and that is done with these 2 screws here. You loosen one, tighten the other, tighten one, loosen the other, however you want to do it. But this is your first axis adjustment now for this system. And that will be hold true with the pick mount and the hard mount. So they added the first axis. Before, you could not get that. It was just fixed on the rail, and there was no first axis adjustment. They have fixed that issue, listened to everybody, and have turned around and given the people what they want. Moving on to the side of the sight here, we have a new wheel and lockdown system. So the Fast Eddie and the Fast Eddie XL had a wing nut on the bottom that you would lock down and dial down with. These are just a little different. Now you can run multiple arrow setups with one bow or one sight. What I mean by this is you can have a turkey setup with a lightweight arrow, and you can move to a whitetail setup with a medium weight arrow, and you can move into a hog in a big game setup with a heavier arrow, all by changing the wheels and just having different sight tapes. That's what this does. This pops off. You can put your turkey arrows on, pop it off, put your whitetail arrow on, pop it off, put your hog arrow on, however you want to do it. Also, with the lockdown mechanism now, it's no longer a wing nut. It is just a turn of this dial, and it allows you to dial the sight up and down and lock it down. Also new for the Boonie is going to be your windage adjustment knob. So we still have the locking knob right here. This is going to unlock and allow you to move it left and right. However, they have now given you a indicator, so no more guessing. Corky, anyway, no more guessing. So we will just move it left and move it right. Okay, and it's much more streamlined, much more crisp and precise as well. They've upgraded that as well. Moving on to the rail system, your second axis adjustment will be right here on these two screws. You will loosen the main screw and use these two 5/64 Allen heads to tilt your second axis, which is going to go this way. Okay, that will allow you to get that level with your bow after the first axis is done. So you put your bow in a vise, you level it out, okay, and then you will level the first axis, and then we'll move to the second. And then flipping over to the front here, the third axis adjustment is going to be these two knobs, our 5/32 Allen heads here. And this is going to be your tilt this way on your axis, your third axis, and you will put that in a vise and you will level that out that way, your third step of leveling there. Or you can use a plumb bob or a door jamb with the third axis leveler from Hamskea. We do recommend coming into the shop or seeing someone who has the experience and knowledge to help you adjust the third axis. It is a very, very important axis to have, especially if you are a tack shooter and you like to do the 3D shooting. And then if you do hunt a lot of elevated type stuff, or maybe you're Western hunters in the mountains and stuff like that, third axis is important. Bring it to a shop and let us help you out with that. So moving on to the pin guard on the bottom here, they have adjusted or changed the gang adjustment for the windage as well. It used to be on the top. You had 5 holes to choose from. Now they have kind of streamlined it, made it a little more robust here, and put it here on the bottom. And there's 3 holes to pick from here. But this will be your gang adjustment on the windage. So moving on to the pin guard, like we said, this is a double pin, top and bottom. A lot of people like your single pins. A lot of guys like triple stacks. And some guys like a 3-pin, and on the horizontal side, some guys like a 5-pin. But most common around here is going to be a double pin, so it's kind of what we stock here most of the time. And you can change these pin guards out as well. And that's the cool thing about the Spot Hogg is you can, with these screws here, you can take these screws out, and you can change from a single to a double to a triple stack to a 5-pin to a 7, if that's what you want to do. Okay. So moving on, I guess right here we can still have the you still have the acceptance of a sight light. Spot Hogg makes a railstat light that you would just turn on, and it gets brighter as you turn it up, and then turns right back off. This is a 0.19 pin. A lot of guys like 0.10. We kind of stock both, so we have them both here. Also, I will say that we're looking at a couple things here. Like I said, you have your pick mount adapter for the mounting. Then you're going to have a new replacement wheels they come out with, as well as your rack stop. So the rack stop, this is kind of a cool feature that a lot of people do love. So when you sighten in this sight, you do want to start somewhere in this area with the rail. And you want to move your gang adjustment up and down. You want to kind of try and lock this rail down and kind of get it in this area the best you can, and move this up and down, because you want to be able to use this rack stop. And what this rack stop does is it goes onto this rail, just like this. You would take this screw out, slip this on, lock it down. And what it does is it allows you to have a 20-yard zero. So with the rack stop bracket on, as you dial down, when you're ready to dial back up, boom, it'll just stop. It'll hit this rack stop, and therefore you cannot dial past your 20. You will just stay dialed in at 20 yards. It will just hit your rack stop right there. So pretty good deal to have. Pretty good deal to have. A lot of sites are going to that. A lot of sites have already had it. Some sites don't have it at all. Spot Hogg does give you that option. And then now we are looking at the standard Spot Hogg tapes that come with this sight. You have 3 calibration tapes and sight scales that run through here. So it's pretty simple. We're going to dial in at 20 yards, run the calibration tape on. You will roll it on this wheel, line with the top pointer. The top pointer is going to represent your top pin, and you are going to slowly start working your way back to 60 yards. When you get to 60 yards and you're happy with your elevation and where you're hitting at, you will look at that calibration scale. And let's just say, for example, it shows sight tape 17. You're going to dial, you go dial back to 20 yards, lock everything down, go in to this calibration booklet, your sight tape booklet, and cut out sight tape 17. And we'll roll it on the wheel. And you should be dialed in from 20 to 100 yards, which brings me to my next point. We now have extended range tapes from Spot Hogg. So if you are shooting a lighter weight arrow, though, you can start pushing 120, 130 yards. Spot Hogg gives you the extended range version as well. It doesn't come with the sight. It's available for purchase separately. Doesn't come with it, but we can get the extended range tape. So this will allow you to get out much further. We're seeing sight tapes at 120, 110, 120, 130. So you can really get pushed out there with the extended range. And you know, the difference between the two, you may only get an extra 10, 20 yards, but regardless, Spot Hogg does give you the option to choose which tapes you want to run with based on your particular setup. We have these in stock in the store. I do believe these will eventually phase out the fast eddies. I'm not 100% sure on that. That's just kind of a speculation of mine. Also, real quick, I will tell you that Spot Hogg does make a scope adapter that will work with the UltraView scope. So if you want to run the Spot Hogg base on an UltraView scope, Spot Hogg does have the adapter. It used to be a scope rod. They have changed it now to a hard mount adapter, and it will screw right into this raised indention here, and it will allow you to run the UltraView scope on that side if that's something that you want to do. So, guys, we love the Boonie. I think it's outstanding. Josie is shooting the Boonie right now on her bow. She has the pick mount version and a single pin .10. So I think the Boonie's been one of the most popular sights in the market, and we like it. So if you want to swing by and check it out, we'll have them here. We have them in stock, right hand and left hand. And as always, thank you guys for watching. If you want to see more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give us a like or two, if you can, if you want. Anyway, we'll keep putting out videos. This is our product highlight for this week. Will be the Spot Hogg Boonie, and we will get some feedback from people, and we will move on to another product highlight for next week, and we'll figure out what we're going to do then. But anyway, Spot Hogg Boonie. These are going to retail in the shop for $379.99. And in case you're wondering, the wheels, extra wheels, are going to be $29.99. And then the adapters are also going to be $29.99. So you no longer need to buy different sights, different bases. You can buy a dovetail adapter, and it only costs you $29.99 to move to a pick mount if you decide that you need to do that. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a great week. We'll see you next time.